Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. Today, we're continuing our 5-year rebuild series here on the YouTube channel. Today, we're doing the Northwestern Wildcats. CFB 26 is slowly creeping up on us. We're ready for next year. We will be doing these 5-year rebuilds, of course, next year. Again, if I don't rebuild your team, I will rebuild them next year. I'm sorry, we're doing Northwestern. Northwestern has been very bad at football. They're getting a new stadium, right? They played on the waterfront this past year. I believe they're getting a new stadium, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Northwestern. We're here today. We're trying to win a national title with Northwestern here today. Right now, Northwestern, they're an 82 overall, 81 in the offense, 84 defense. They run the multiple offense in a base 4-3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is Northwestern roster. We have Jack Rotloski. I probably butchered his name. We have Mike Wright. I believe he was the Vanderbilt transfer. We have Ryan Holinsky here. Listen, Ryan Holinsky, great story. I love this guy. The only thing that sucks about him, his overall in CFB 25 is very low, and we're probably not going to use him. I'm sorry. Aiden Gray, we have Ryan Bowe. We'll see if he develops for us. Running back, we have Cam Porter. We have Caleb. We have Joseph. Running backs, we do have, Joseph and Deshaun here. He looks good with 93 speed. Hopefully he develops for us. Receiver, we have Bryce Kurtz, AJ Henning, and then nobody really else I know. We have 3 freshmen. Hopefully they develop. Tight end, we have Thomas Gordon, Caleb at left tackle, Jordan Cox at left guard, Jack Bailey at the center, right guard, Josh Thompson, Ben at the right tackle. Yeah, man, I don't know a whole lot about this Northwestern roster besides that they were supposed to do really bad this year, and they somehow made a bowl game. Oh, my God. Timmy Oak, 95 speed, freshman corner. We love that. Roster looks all right. I think we're going to be very bad this year, but that's why we got to recruit, so let's get going. Robert Holiday, committed. Matthew Lewis, committed. Quincy Keogh, committed. Caleb Gilliam, committed. Marquise Demas, committed. DeAndre Pippins, committed. Terrell Bandy, committed. Ethan Taggart, committed. Jeremy Ullman, committed. Ben Easy, commits. Jay Pounds, committed. Bernard Bulger, committed. Joel Cummings, committed. Ladies and gentlemen, 2024 Heisman Trophy winners, Cade Klubnik, quarterback of Clemson. He had 4,070 yards, 48 tutties, and 2 picks. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the Ford Field for the Detroit Bowl, taking on Central Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Detroit Bowl champions of the world here in year 1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the year 1 stats. Jack, 3,257 yards, 253 for 434, 28 tutties, 6 picks, 58% completion percentage. Rushing, Cam Potter, 155 for 1,009 yards, 14 tutties. Joseph, 78 for 409, 3 tutties. Jack, 62 for 161 with a tutty. Covey, 10 for 102 tutties. Caleb, 4 for 42 with a tutty. Receiving, Covey, 70 for 1,110 or 1,010, 10 tutties. AJ Henning, 71 for 862, 9 tutties. Bryce Kurtz, 36 for 605, 3 tutties. Thomas, 32 for 381, 3 tutties. Joseph, 23 for 169. Reggie, 10 for 169, 2 tutties. Duke, 4 for 32, a tutty. Cam Potter, 7 for 29. How about the defense here? 99 tackles for Xander. 84 for Max, 66 for Johnson, 58 for Ori, 57 for Devin Turner, Coco with 56, 54 for Robert Fitzgerald. Tackles for loss, 8 for Saka, Patty with 6, 5 for Mac, Xander with 3, Michael and Story as well, 2 for Robert, Ori, Devin, Kenny, Carmen, and Richie all with 1 sacks, 8 by Saka, Patty with 7, 3.5 for Michael, Richie with 3, 2.5 by Mac, Story with 2, 1 by Coleman. Interceptions, Johnson with 6, 2 for Coco and Robert Fitzgerald, 1 for Mac, Xander, Ori, and Devin Turner. Really good start to this rebuild, but hopefully year 2, we can push for the playoff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it was Georgia taking on Colorado for the Natty. And sadly, Shador Sanders and Coach Prime could not get it done as they fall to Georgia 31-28. Barrett Nelson committed. Raheem Long Jr. commits. Jason Zendamella committed. Marcus Washington Jr. commits. Derek Wiskoff commits. Ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 20th best class in the nation. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6th best in the Big Ten. I know I was talking playoffs, but we did lose some people due to our coach, the my school stuff. We've got some talent. I don't think that can be possible. Let's just shoot for a bowl game now. Serge Ekulali, committed. Jeff Figures, committed. Robert Awesome, committed. Corey Byham, committed. Vince Wall, commits. Parker Busby, committed. Brian Hope, committed. Bobby Pippin, committed. Owen Casper, committed. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 Heisman Trophy winner is Drew Auer, quarterback from Penn State. He had 2,981 yards, 37 tutties, 1 pick. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the Real Quest Bowl, taking on the Arkansas Razorbacks. Ladies and gentlemen, we fought Arkansas in the Real Quest Bowl 37-29. And ladies and gentlemen, the year 2 stats, we have Caleb Gilliam, quarterback. He had 2,924 yards, 245 for 363, 27 tutties, 13 picks, 67% completion percentage. How about the Russ? Caleb leading the way again, 109 for 559, 3 tutties. Another Caleb, Coughlin Laughley, I probably butchered his name, 160 for 517, 6 tutties. Joseph, 82 for 402, 3 tutties. Reader, 3 for 55 with a tutty. How about receiving? Reggie, 62 for 899, 8 tutties. Pippins, 63 for 721, 8 tutties. Calvin Johnson II, 36 for 464, 5 tutties. Camp, 32 for 339, 2 tutties. Ricky, 23 for 302, 4 tutties. Joseph Hyman II, 22 for 168. Caleb, 5 for 18. Hunter, 2 for 13. How about the defense here? 78 tackles for Kenny. Ori with 69. Devin Turner, 61, 59 for Johnson. Reynolds with 58, 55 for Robert Fitzgerald. 52 for Josh. 43 for Mac. Tyler, 41. Tackles lost, 8 for Mac. Michael with 6. Tyler Grant and Jaden with 4 apiece. Jason and Aiden with 3. 1 for Kenny, Ori, Josh, and Matthew Smith. Sacks, 7 for Tyler Grant. 2.5 for Mac. Jason Reynolds with 2. And along with Kalen Campbell, 1.5 for Jaden Cameron. Aiden Hubbard with 1. Derek with 1. Half sack for Michael and Robert Fitzgerald. Interceptions, 3 by Johnson, 2 by Turner. Fitzgerald, Kenny, Ori, and Josh, all with 1. Year 3 up next. I don't know if we can make the playoffs, but I hope we can. And ladies and gentlemen, Georgia will go back-to-back as they beat Tennessee 38-24. Reggie Lee Vernon, committed. Daleson Staley, committed. Jalen Hayward, committed. Gregory Smith III, commits. Jordan Tooney, committed. Teddy Foster, committed. Malachi Coleman, committed. Quincy Burrows, committed. Jaden Giard, committed. Sharif Denson, committed. Ladies and gentlemen, this time in year 2, we finished with the 16 best class, still a 6th best in the Big Ten, but we've got some talent here to work with, so let's go to year 3. Emmett Bobo, committed. Josh Coker, committed. Clayton Winston, committed. Gage Kurtz, committed. Mo Wen Ojiho commits. Charlie Davis committed. Vi Tafoyo commits. Dimitri Jones committed. Alan Jackson committed. Ladies and gentlemen, 2026 Heisman Trophy winner is Maddox Madsen, quarterback of Boise. 4,116 passing yards, 48 tutties, 4 picks. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, taking on the South Carolina Gamecocks. And ladies and gentlemen, we fall 38-33 in the Citrus Bowl. And ladies and gentlemen, here are the year 3 stats. Caleb Gilliam, we realized he wasn't starting, it was this guy, but we put him right in as soon as we did. Notice that. He had 2,950 yards, 217 for 307, 26 33, 13 picks, 70% completion percent rushing. Caleb, 132 for 582, 6 tutties. Joseph, 68 for 378, 2 tutties. Caleb, 76 for 352, tutties. Bo, 19 for 53, 1 tutty. Reggie, 14 for 28 with 2 tutties. How about the receiving here? Reggie, 66 for 982, 8 tutties. Ricky, 69 for 978, 13 tutties. Coleman, 52 for 655, 8 tutties. Jeremy, 41 for 518, 3 tutties. Joseph, 25 for 200. Pippins, 10 for 168, 2 tutties. Caleb, 11 for 71. How about Maggie here? Camp, 6 for 54. Defensively, Jason Reynolds, 80 tackles, 76 for Kenny. Robert, 67. Staley, 63, 57 for Matthew Lewis. Josh, 56, 55 for Braden Turner. Tackles lost, 9 by Michael. Kenny with 8, 7 for Kalen Campbell. Matthew Lewis with 3, along with Quincy Keogh. 2 for Jason, Derek, and Tyler Grant. 1 for Staley, Josh, Braden Turner, Matthew Smith, and Jaden Cameron. Sacks, 7.5 for Quincy Keogh. Kalen Campbell with 6, 5 for Michael, 2 for Jaden. Braden flanks with 1.5, 1 for Kenny. Jason with 1, half sack for Staley and Turner. Interceptions, 6 for Josh. Staley with 3, Turner with 3, 2 for Reynolds and Robert, and 1 for Kenny Soares. I don't know if we're going to make the playoff. We have some talent. Is it going to make the playoff? Let's just shoot for the make the playoffs next year. In an all-ACC matchup between Clemson And NC State Clemson puts BTA to NC State 41-6 the final. Adrian Wade committed. Adrian Braverman committed. William D. Pappy commits. Kayvon Thunderbird committed. Rico Sly commits. Grayson Azara committed. Tyler Wisniewski commits. Thomas Hedeberger committed. Elias Alain committed. Ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 24th best class. That's the 7th best in the Big Ten. I think we have a talented group that can make the playoff next year. Let's shoot for that. BJ Carney committed. Corin Witten committed. Calvin Cotchery committed. Skylar Frederick committed. Willie Godspeed committed. Frank Whitberg committed. Emmanuel Boyd committed. John Keaton committed. Ladies and gentlemen, here in year 4, we're 10-2. We're number 1 in the land. And we are taking on the Penn State Nittany Lions for the chance to win the Big Ten. Steve Stenkuler committed. Shane Cooper committed. 2027 Heisman Trophy winners Michael Hawkins Jr., quarterback of Oklahoma, had 3,125 yards, 34 tutties, and 2 picks. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to the college football playoff, taking on the TCU Horned Frogs. And ladies and gentlemen, we have won the playoff game on to the quarters. And we're going to be going to the All-State Sugar Bowl, taking on the Oklahoma Sooners. And ladies and gentlemen, we fall 23-13 to Oklahoma. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the year 4 stats. Caleb Gilliam had 3,845 yards, 316 for 455, 40 tutties, 12 picks, 69% completion percentage. How about the rushing? Caleb, 154 for 710, 8 tutties. Deshaun Reeder, 117 for 577, 4 tutties. Galen, 129 for 357, 1 tutty. Byham, 5 for 27, 2 tutties. Ricky, 9 for 15. How about the receiving? Reeks, 82 for 1,073, 10 tutties. Ricky, 75 for 962, 14 tutties. Patrick, 60 for 703, 4 tutties. Pippins, 44 for 654, 7 tutties. Reader, 28 for 229, 2 tutties. Hayden, 13 for 158, 3 tutties. Caleb, 12 for 44. Jeremy, 2 for 22. The defense, 76 tackles for Sergey and Mekulali. I probably butchered that. Matthew Lewis, 70. 69 for Thomas. 68 for Robert Awesome. Gregory Smith, 56. 52 for Josh. 48 for Tito. Tyler Grant, 47, 42 for Keno, and Scott Ellington, 47. Tackles lost, 10 for Clayton, Kalen Campbell, 7 for Grant and Ellington, 6 for Keo, Josh with 3, Thomas and Robert with 2, 1 for Gregory Smith and Tito and Emmett Bobo and Braxton Strong. Sacks 12 by Tyler Grant, Quincy Keo with 6.5, Scott with 4.5, 1.5 for Thomas, Sergey with 1.5, 1 for Campbell, half sack for Josh, half sack for Matthew Lewis. Interceptions 4 by Josh, Robert with 4, 2 by Thomas, 1 by Matthew, and 1 by Tito. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all in time. We're going to go all in and try to win our natty here in year 5. Ladies and gentlemen, USF, Oklahoma in the natty, and USF pulls up the upset over Oklahoma. Anthony Sabri committed. Jason McCormack committed. Daniel Nicholson committed. Nolan Durant committed. Miles Davis committed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 19th best class. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the 8th best class. The Big Ten's tough. We made the Big Ten title last year. Let's see if we can do it again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, auto recruiting on. Let's hopefully win a natty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are currently 4 losses to USF, Wisconsin, and Cal, and USC. It's going to take a miracle to make the playoff. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe this. A miracle happened. Ranked 10 in the land, and we're going to the Big Ten title. And ladies and gentlemen, we are Big Ten champions here in year 5. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be going to the first round of the playoff, taking on Oregon State. And ladies and gentlemen, we took care of Oregon State on to the quarters. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be taking on the Georgia Bulldogs in the Sugar Bowl. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the Caesars Superdome, taking on Georgia. Georgia's always tough. I seemingly always struggle when we play Georgia. It's a miracle happened, ladies and gentlemen. We don't deserve to be here, and we are here. So let's make the most of this, boys, and let's upset Georgia and continue our run to the natty. All right, here we are, 1st and 10 at the 20. Here we go. Reader is going to go nowhere on that play. 2nd and 11 here. Gilliam, been the starter since year 2. And the line is just getting... Man, wouldn't it have been nice if we had our right tackle there, dude? All right, 3rd and 11. Here we go. Coker, you got him. You got him, Coker. 97 speed. Can't teach that, but he drops the football. All right, 3rd and 6 of the 29. Here we go. Gilliam. Right there. He's got him. And here we go. 4th and 6. I am going to go for it. Right there, boom. Coker, spin move. That's going to be first and goal, baby. All right, first and goal from the 9. Here we go. Gilliam hikes it, go underneath. Coker, he's in. He's not going to be in quite, but it'll be second goal from the 1. And we were going to try to run it in and tie this game up. Here we go. Gilliam hands it off. He can't get in. Third and goal from the 1. Reader, get in there, baby. Reader! He's in. Oh my, I thought he was stuffed, but he's in. Caleb Gilliam, 25-yard rush. We have a 21-14 lead defense. Come on. 3rd and 7 here. Gilliam. Right there, X marks the spot, but he overthrows it, and we get a punt. 1st and 10 for the 56, Georgia. Up 7. Here we go. We have the speed to burn them. 24 in my way, and we're going to get every time. The clock is ticking. That's a big factor. We have speed that can torch these guys. Cover 4, look. By the time I saw a guy open, we're sacked. We need someone to get burned. Somebody, burn him. Burn him! This might be the game here. I'm going there. Coker. Gonna get out of bounds. Moves it a little bit closer. All right, we're a little bit closer. We still have that one timeout. Here we go. Gilliam. I'm going to him. I'm going to him. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Here we go. You got him. Coker. Godspeed. It's incomplete. I probably had circle there. 3rd and 10. We just got to get 20 more yards. Timeout. And we get a couple shots here. Here we go. Gilliam. Perfect. Let's save us a timeout. 7 seconds. This ball has to come out quick here. Here we go. The game on the line. Gilliam. Fuck it. I'm going to circle. It's picked. You had to throw it up and hope for a miracle. Georgia will survive us. And ladies and gentlemen, Northwestern cannot get the job done. We had our shot, but then we threw a pick, and that's how Georgia got the 28. And, man, we did our best. We've got a lot of talent. We just fall in the end. Georgia. Always freaking Georgia, bro. Every time, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we gave it our best shot. We tried our dangdest. But, of course, we played Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. And we had a chance to win, and then we threw a pick, and then that's how Georgia scored 28 there. So it is what it is. We gave it our best shot, but we'll try Northwestern again in CFB 26 because that's coming around the corner. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, hit like, hit subscribe, and I guess a like, subscribe gets motivated to keep doing this. Leave a comment in the YouTube comment section. It helps with the algorithm, gets my content out to more people. And yeah, man, I'm going to get out of here. So I hope you, yes you, have a great day or have a great night, depending on when you're watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. I'm out.